You guys remember Forspoken, right? I'm sure most of you do. I'm not gonna lie, I almost forgot about this game at one point. It's been a while since I've talked about it, and we get some updates about this game and the studio that made it. Forspoken Studio is being absorbed back into Square Enix. Yesterday, Luminous Productions, the developers behind the Rocky Fantasy parkour game Forspoken, announced that it will no longer exist as a separate game studio. On May 1st, Luminous will be merged back into its parent company, Square Enix. If anybody is confused on what this means, basically the company that made Forspoken is getting shut down. Luminous Productions is getting shut down. It's going out of business. Square Enix is going to be taking over. And when a game is so bad that it causes the studio that made it to get shut down, that's how you know you messed up big time. And listen, this was expected to happen. Forspoken was a flop. This game was received pretty bad by most people. It sold extremely poor. Not only was the game full of woke identity politics, but Forspoken was just not a good game. Gameplay sucked, story made no sense, characters were unlikable. The biggest issue that people had with this game was the dialogue and how cheesy and cringy it sounded. And not only was the game a flop, but you had the game developers, including the director of God of War, that was attacking audiences and calling them racists for not liking the game and not buying the game. It is so laughable that they continue to pull the race card and try to come up with any excuse to justify their failures, including insulting the audience. Ah, you guys are racist. You just don't like Forspoken because the main character is black. Maybe people just didn't like this game because it wasn't good. Forspoken was a flop. Luminous Productions is going to be in serious trouble. Not only are they getting shut down, but Square Enix is having a whole new problem this summer because there's already rumors going around that the president of Square Enix is going to get replaced in a couple of months, and there's going to be a lot of changes and switch ups with this company because they've had too many flops. The Marvel's Avengers game was a flop. That was another failure that sold extremely poor. The Forspoken game was a flop. Square Enix cannot take it anymore. They're struggling to put out good quality games. And listen, the only reason people still care about Square Enix is just because of the Life is Strange games. The Life is Strange games are the only games that people care about in Square Enix. And those games are not even good. These movie simulators, cutscene simulators, this just ruins gaming. The gameplay for Square Enix games are shit, especially the Life is Strange ones. These dialogue simulators, walking simulators, the gameplay is no good. Nobody ever sits there and says, man, I love that gameplay. They're always talking about the story. And the story in the Life is Strange games aren't even good. Like I said, Life is Strange is trash. Square Enix sucks. And it's not like I want them to fail. I want Square Enix to improve and put out good quality games. But if they're going to keep making stuff like this, especially stuff that's woke, then expect to go broke. You know, Hogwarts Legacy is like the best game that we've gotten recently, and that's a pretty good game. This Forspoken game was just a flop, and this is just going to do more damage to Square Enix. Let me know what you guys think. If you guys are new to my channel, please subscribe, give this video a like, be sure to follow my Instagram, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.